Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Here we are for what was round 2 of the NXTGEN Megane Trophy for Season 18, sponsored by Power Max Racing. I'm your commentator, Jack TM53, and as you can tell, we've got a replay here. I wasn't available last week. I was on holiday in sunnier conditions than we've got today in terms of the broadcast, but in any case, we will get on with it. In a moment, I'll start the race. I just want to look through the grid order at the moment. I just want to make clear that I have no idea who wins this race. I've only just been able to get onto the replays myself today. So we got D Whitehouse on pole, who did well last week at the Nürburgring. He was running well, made a mistake, unfortunately, in the first half of that race, and then we had the second part and he got himself up the order. We got Timmy DJG94 on second place. That's his best starting position of the season. Let's have a quick run through a couple of other drivers. We've got Seamus in third, running the Adrian Flux livery. We'll just see if we can cut to the external camera. We can't quite get there at the moment, so we'll come back to that later. DMK 80, he's in fourth, as you can tell there. Fifth place is Snav, a little bit lower down than we'd expect. You've got Shadow Stalker in sixth, great qualifying for Shadow Stalker, that in front of 1805. Let's not forget who's a race winner. We've also got Tinny Tortoise CRT in 8th place on the grid, and Danzo right at the back. Did that from the Danzo, but let's see how we get on for this race. 20 minutes obviously this race was. You can see on the timer at the bottom. Let's get cracking. The lights will be coming up shortly. We'll get all the information up as well. And it's away here at Laguna Seca. It's a great start from Timmy DJG. He's up to first. Seamus has already passed D Whitehouse. D Whitehouse has an awful start. He's down to third as the amateur driver. Snav's looking to go around the outside in the Power Products car, but he's not quite there. Timmy DJG, though, is up into first. Contact in the back of them there. D Whitehouse has managed to force his way back through. He's in third. DMK's on the outside now. He's trying to look around the outside of Snav. Whether he's going to be able to do that, I don't know. 1805. Oh, he's all over the curb. He could go round. Shadow Stalker has gone round though. That's a shame for the Geisen driver. He had a great qualifying. He's down in 9th already. Tinny Tortoise there in the Sales Eye car. He's in 8th place. 1805's in 7th. Danzo up to 6th after starting 9th. We've got DMK in 5th place. You can see DMK is running a special livery at the moment. You can see there at the back. Keep fighting, Abigail and Eleanor. We've mentioned it a number of times, and we really do wish all the best for DMK's children who were nearly there in terms of getting out of hospital. All the best to him, and he's all the way up the inside of Seamus as they go into the chicane at the corkscrew, and he's up to 4th. He's run very, very deep though, and that is Seamus back through. If he's not careful, Danzo and his best of lightning start is all over the back of DMK. Now he's going to have to try and knuckle down and get back into it as DMK at the moment. He's in 5th though. Seamus is 4th. He's looking on the back of Snav, who's in 3rd place currently. Is he going to look for a move in the inside? No, he's not. He's going to stay behind. Let's go on board. Bit of a wiggle out of the final corner for Snav, but nothing doing. He's got away with that. So at the end of the first lap, Timmy DJG's had a fantastic first lap. He got the launch brilliantly. He leads the way in the works car. D Whitehouse is second. Third is Snav. He's got Seamus just behind him in the Adrian Flux car. Danzo's up to 5th, and DMK's been shuffled down to 7th. So, didn't quite see what had happened and gone on there. In fact, 1805 slowed down to let him go back through, and he's not careful. Tinny Tortoise will be up the inside, going into turn 3. That's a good move from Tinny, and he's up to 7th. Great move from the CRT driver. He'll be very pleased with that, I'm sure. DMK there, he's in 6th. Not sure what happened between himself and 1805, but 18 did wait for him, and that's the key thing here. Danzo has to start from the back of the grid now, up into 5th. He's going to be chuffed with himself on that one. And Seamus very, very sideways coming through the corner before the corkscrew there. Absolutely opposite lock he was through that corner. Adrian Flux driver, though, just about holds on to it as they cut through with the corkscrew. Round, rainy curve now, this left-hander, smooth left-hand corner. Noticeably named after Wayne Rainey. He was a 500cc three-time world motorbike champion, and appropriate name for him as it's such a smooth corner and he was such a smooth rider. Danzo there in 5th going around the final corner now. DMK currently in 6th place, and he seems to have got away a little bit from Tinny Tortoise. A bit wider. Tinny Tortoise was even wider And that is 1805 pretty much sealed and delivered. He's up to 7th. So 1805 now's got to get back on with the job and up to DMK like he was earlier on. Further at the front, Snav still in 3rd. Still got a reasonable gap with Seamus just behind, but we'll see how that pans out further on. D Whitehouse at the moment, he's just set fastest lap on that last lap, and he's currently on a purple first sector as he goes through turn 4 at the moment. Timmy there in 1st place, leading the race for the first time in the Megane trophy. Let's see if he can keep hold of that position, because at the moment he's doing a fantastic job, is the works driver. D Whitehouse, not much between them on that last lap, actually only 8 thousandths of a second, so really good speed being held by these two compared to the guys behind. Snav's on for 3rd at the moment, but he's going to have slow Seamus hovering around him in the next few laps. He's still there at the moment, taking a little bit more curb on the outside just so he can get a better line through corkscrew with Seamus there. And it seems to have worked. He's 2 tenths up on his best lap, and it looks like he's noticeably closer to the back of Snav than he was the lap before. He cuts the car through second to last corner there at the moment. DMK still in 5th, but 1805's been on an absolute charge. He's now up right behind the PMR driver. You can see it there. He just cuts into the final corner. Usually in 2nd gear, that one. We'll ride on board with 1805. Let's have a look at his lap time as we go on to the 3rd lap, and he's done a 25.9. That's right on the times of the leaders. If we look further back, 25.2 from D Whitehouse, 25.1. Alright, it's 8 tenths. But in any case, 1805 is doing a good job so far. Try and cut to the camera there. There we go. That looks a little bit better. So, 3rd gear, and that's Seamus who's gone off in front of us. DMK up to 4th. He cuts right in front. It's not the best line he's got through there. Seamus trying to look for another gap if he can. I'm not sure if he'll be able to, and he might have to stay behind. He does. So, Seamus, who was bothering Snav earlier on in this race, isn't bothering anyone at the moment. He's going to have to try and recoup and try and get past DMK, who's on for a stunning 4th. And he's run wide through turn 8 there. He's gone very wide into the barrier, and he's down to 6th. And 1805 now going up for an opportunity up the inside of corkscrew. Can he get there? Not quite. Not quite. He backs out of it. Seamus taking a bit more of curb than he would have liked. I know the corner cutting's on weak, so will he get a slowdown potentially for that? He'll have to try and clear that somewhere if he can. As 18 looks for another move at the second to last corner, not quite there alongside, so he'll have to stay behind. Tinney, though, is up to 6th. I'm not sure what's happened to DMK. He's dropped right to 9th. As Danzo now looks for a move up the inside of Shadowstalker, he's also dropped down, and there's contact between the two, and the Geisen driver is back down to 9th. Not the best ideal situation for Shadowstalker. He's going to have to try and recoup. DMK now back up to 8th. Danzo's down to 7th. We didn't see what happened to him, but he's down to 7th now. Tinny Torsois in 6th. Seamus has been overtaken, though, by slow Seamus, probably done into turn 1. And 1805, after a lap or two ago, was somewhere near the back of the grid. He's up to 4th place. He's got a long, long way to go, though, if he's going to try and catch up to Snav, who you could just see going out of shot through turn 6 there. There is Snav, the Power Products driver. D Whitehouse, though, is now on the back of Timmy. This is crucial for D Whitehouse's championship. He came 2nd lap time out at the Nürburgring. He's hovering all over the back of Timmy in the chicane now, going through the corkscrew, through Rainy Curve. Not really an overtaking opportunity is this one, and sure enough it is. And took a bit more curb than he probably would have liked then, as he goes into the second last corner, clips the inside well in 4th gear, probably down to 2nd now for the final corner. Closes up on Timmy, goes a little bit tighter does Timmy, but he got a really good exit. It's a good exit for Timmy. That will be really advantageous for him. And sure enough, I don't think D Whitehouse is going to be close enough for a lunge. Let's wait and see where they are on board. No, not quite. D Whitehouse swings back to the outside, pulls the car in again. So nothing doing yet for D Whitehouse. He's got work to do if he wants to try and get past Timmy. Timmy currently looking for his first win of this, well, first win ever in the Meganes. D Whitehouse looking for his first win of the season after his podium last week. Or in terms of last week, I mean 2 weeks ago at this point now, because I'm still thinking it's the Thursday before. Snav's there in 3rd. 1805's up to 4th now. Seamus is been dropped by 1805, so good speed shown from 1805 at the moment. There's Tinny Tortoise is in 6th place. That's going to be a best result if he can hold on to that. Danzo, though, trying to get rid of this slow down penalty that he's picked up somewhere. Shadowstalker's in 8th, and there's DMK in 9th place currently. Cut back to Seamus. He's just gone very wide through this corner before the corkscrew there. He's just about got away with it as Seamus. We just watch as 1805 clips the curve. Gets a little bit sideways, but that's natural due to the momentum of the car when it shifts through 2 corners very quickly. Snav seems to be on his own in 3rd at the moment. He's got a couple of seconds to D Whitehouse. Probably a bit more than 6 or 7 seconds potentially between the two. D Whitehouse, though, putting the pressure on Timmy now to see if he can get past. Looking to the outside again. Going to try and square the corner up if he can D Whitehouse. He's done a lovely line through there. But Timmy hasn't felt the real need to defend at the moment. He's just keeping his lines at the moment. He's run a touch wide through turn 3 as I say that. But again, Big Bollard gets knocked out the way. Not sure who moved that. D Whitehouse is wide through turn 4. He just holds it on the road. Fortunate enough for D Whitehouse. Keeps the momentum going in the car. Looking further back, Danzo has got... Oh, Tinny Tortoise has just gone through the gravel there. So Danzo's got past him. And that seems to be that at the moment. But it's Tinny Tortoise has got Shadowstalker now. Looking for a move up the inside. Can the Geisen driver take advantage? Not quite. He breaks earlier there. I think Shadowstalker probably would have got past him and he'd break a little bit later. But nonetheless, he's still there. Clean driving from the Geisen driver. Carries a lot of speed through turn 7 there. That was impressive from Shadowstalker. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a lunge on Tinny. And no, he's not. He is. He's going to line it up for the inside. And that's a brilliant move. Shadowstalker up to 7th. Can Tinny do anything? No, he's too far back. That was brilliant from Shadowstalker. Up to 7th goes the Geisen driver. He's on for his best result ever in the Megane as it stands. Danzo still trying to clear other penalties that he's picked up now. Seamus seems to have got himself back in a little bit more of a groove. Seems like he's closer to Seamus, or rather closer to 1805. He did 25 flat last time out, 4 temps quicker than 1805. So we'll keep an eye on these two. But we'll cut back to the front as well because D Whitehouse has dropped a little bit of time to Timmy as it stands. We're halfway through the race at the moment, still another 10 minutes left. And as it stands, we probably get another 6, maybe 7 laps, depending on where drivers are on circuit. So, still a lot more action left in this race. D Whitehouse, though, has dropped off the back of Timmy at the moment. He's got fastest lap that last time out. He gapped him by 4 temps, did Timmy. So, clearly hooking the car up on that last lap. And I think D Whitehouse just went a bit deep into the corkscrew. There's Snav. Still haven't seen much of Snav through this race, but he's in 3rd currently. Good showing from him at the moment. 1805 comes through the corkscrew, clips it well. There goes Seamus in 5th. Danzo now's got himself back into shape. He's in 6th at the moment. There's Shadowstalker. There's Tinny. And DMK a little bit further back. Got a bit of a penalty as the PMR driver. But it's good to see him here and racing with us for DMK. His best ever result throughout all the times that he's raced in the Megane Trophy is 9th place, and that was in season 17 at Kyoto. So as it stands, he's equaling his best ever result. So good showing from the PMR driver. We'll cut further forward, we'll see where the battles are. D Whitehouse a little bit ragged there coming out of turn 3. Timmy again taking 3 temps out of him. So Timmy's got himself into the groove. Look at the lap times from lap 5 onwards. He's been just getting quicker. He's in the 24s now. D Whitehouse hasn't been in the 24 since lap 4, so work to do for the Hampshire driver. There's Snav, still in 3rd. 1805 now has got the closest battle on track because Seamus has caught him. Both set pretty much identical lap times last time out. 1805 using a bit more of the AstroTurf there. He's got to be careful it doesn't suck him out into the sand. Otherwise he'll be playing in a ball pit that he doesn't want to be part of at the moment. Just cuts through into the corkscrew. Tighter line from Seamus there, but nothing doing at the moment. It's not quite close enough to get up to the back of 1805. And as I say that, Snav has made a mistake ahead of us. Snav was a lot further ahead of 1805. And 1805 clamping the curb there. Got very lucky on 2 wheels. Fantastic from the Steel Seal driver. But yeah, Snav has definitely made a mistake somewhere. We're not sure where it's happened, but he has done. He's got to try and make sure he doesn't make any more, because at the moment, that's a late lunge from Seamus. I don't know if he got his braking all wrong. Ooh, that was very awkward collision between the 2 drivers. Adrian Flux driver definitely coming off worse as a result of it. But he's able to carry on. And he is doing it at the moment, but he's lost a lot of time. 4 seconds on that lap alone compared to his personal best. So Seamus, after catching up to 1805, has got just over 6 minutes to go to try and replicate what he did earlier. Danzo's still in 6th. Shadowstalker's pulled away from Tinney now, and DMK still in 9th place. Decent lap times from Tinney though. Tinney's doing 27s as opposed to Shadowstalker in the 26s, and DMK anywhere between the 26s and 27s, 28s sometimes. So Tinney's very consistent at the moment. Good showing for him, currently in 8th place. And that's Seamus, who's gone round at the corkscrew. And Seamus is down to 6th. Shadowstalker's got him. He's up down to 7th. Where's Tinney? Not close enough. So Seamus, who was at one point fighting on to the back of 4th place, is now fighting on to try and catch up with Shadowstalker. Must have just clipped the curb through the corkscrew, sent him round, and that was it. And he's gone wide again through the final corner. He's got to try and cool down, got to try and calm himself. He won't catch anyone else if he keeps driving aggressively. He's got to try and clear that red mist that he's got at the moment. Danzo, though, now into 5th after starting 9th, and despite the earlier problems he had, he's going about where he should be at the moment. Danzo is definitely capable of hitting 5th places in this league, no doubt about it. His best result ever is 5th place as well, so he'll be matching that if he can stay where he is for the next 5 minutes. Snav still in 3rd, but I think he's being caught by 1805. You look at the last few laps, 2 times out of 3 1805 was quicker than him by 3 to 4 tenths. So Snav's got to keep on it. Meanwhile, someone who is keeping on it, D Whitehouse, who's got himself back into the mix. 24-4 that last time out. He's all over the back of the works driver of Timmy. Now, this is where the pressure will start to build with 4 and a bit minutes to go for Timmy. First time potentially ever winning a Megane Trophy race. He'll want to get that first one boxed off, and he's got to just keep calm, keep doing what he has been doing for the first 15 and 50 seconds of this race. Just needs to keep it up. If he can do that, he'll take that victory. D Whitehouse there, he's in 2nd, just pressuring him where he needs to. Snav's still in 3rd, 1805's in 4th. Seems to have been a bit more of a gap, as 1805 has made a mistake on that last lap. Just as I said he was catching up, it's dropped away again. 1.6 was the difference there. Danzo's in a lonely 5th. Seamus has got past Shadowstalker, so he's now up to 6th as the Adrian Flux driver. Shadowstalker's in 7th. Tinney, he's there in 8th, still setting those consistent 27s. And I think DMK's had a little mistake on that lap. So we'll cut right back to the front. D Whitehouse looking for a move up the inside. He's got the move done, but there's contact between the two. Timmy's through the gravel, and sure enough, D Whitehouse lets him back through. Good sportsmanship from D Whitehouse. It was a very late lunge. It wasn't quite as clean as D Whitehouse would have wanted, but nonetheless, he let the Timmy go back through. But that'll rattle Timmy. Little incidents like that will rattle Timmy. You know, any driver looking for that first ever victory, little incidents just like those will just rattle a driver's confidence. We're on board with D Whitehouse now. Timmy going defensive as they head towards turn 1 now. Swoops in the little left-hander now on the brakes, down probably to 2nd gear. D Whitehouse on the outside. Looks to switch back, but Timmy's done really well. Keeps the car tucked in, and that is position defended for now. We've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock left. Who could win this? This is fantastic at the moment between the works driver and the amateur driver, as D Whitehouse gets a really, really good run. Timmy's gone defensive already, but I think D Whitehouse just tapped the back of him and couldn't make a judgment there in terms of trying to go around the outside. He's hooked it clean on the inside, but I don't think he's close enough for a move. He's going to look, he'll keep looking, but he's going to have to slot in behind. This is great racing between D Whitehouse and Timmy at the moment. Not long to go now in this race. D Whitehouse looking for every possible avenue that he can find. Cutting the corner there that you can do on these track limit settings in the Megane Trophy. D Whitehouse looking to potentially get his first win of the season and move into the lead of the championship standings. He will do anyway, providing he finishes where he is now, but he wants that win. And looking at the time on the clock, we'll have 2 laps left for these gents. 2 laps to go for these two. Got a thrilling finale in store as we look to see D Whitehouse potentially snatching a victory away from Timmy, or Timmy holding on to take his first ever, what would be well deserved victory. He's driven brilliantly so far. Have a quick cut back to the other drivers there. Snav in third. He's been caught by 18.05. He's been setting some brilliant laps as 18.05. 25s on the last 2 laps alone compared to 26s for Snav. So 18.05 just needs to keep up the pressure. Seamus is in 5th. His gap Shadowstalker now. Danzo's down in 7th, so Danzo's gone off. In fact, no, he's had 2 really poor laps by his standards. So that'll be a challenge for him to get past Shadowstalker in the final 2 laps. Although I don't think they'll have 2 laps to go, these two. I think that'll be it. It's going to be very, very close though, regardless of what happens. We'll cut back to the front. Timmy still defending heavily from D Whitehouse. You could see D Whitehouse looking for every possible gap that he can. He's in the slipstream. Won't really make much of a difference. Timmy's going to go defensive for the second last corner. D Whitehouse hooks the car up the inside. Will Timmy go defensive again? Yes, he does. There's still a gap there. He's been sent into the back of Timmy. D Whitehouse, will he wait up? Yes, he does. Again, good sportsmanship. This will be potential. Is it the last lap? It is! And Timmy takes the win! Timmy got the win. It's his first win of the season. It's his first win ever. Great result for Timmy. He just about held on from D Whitehouse. Snav is in 3rd. Great drive for him. Another podium. 18.05 spins it over the line. He's 4th. Shadowstalker, is he going to take 5th? It's going to be on the line. Danzo's got wide. Shadowstalker, this is unbelievable. It's going to take 5th place. His first top 5 ever. Danzo's in 6th. What happened to Seamus on that final lap? He had an awful lap. Tinny Tortoise is in 8th. And DMK. Brilliant drive from him. He's going to take his best result ever, even if it is 9th. Great drive. Wow, what a finale we had there. Brilliant stuff from the Megane Trophy. Timmy taking his first ever win in incredible style. Just about holding on from D Whitehouse, who's in 2nd place overall and takes the lead of the championship there. 3rd was Mr. Snav. He had a quiet race in the end, but he'll be happy with that nonetheless. Shadowstalker, 5th place. Unbelievable. Wow. Absolutely fantastic for Shadowstalker. His best result up until that point was 10th. 10th, and he's just halved it and came 5th place. He stopped Danzo on the line. Really good job for him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this stream now. We're going to be broadcasting again in a roughly 10 minutes time. I'm going to set up the lobby for round 3 of the Renault Megane Trophy sponsored by PowerMax Racing at Brands Hatch Indy. It's a top 4 championship reverse grid. I will detail that though in 10 minutes time, so just keep an eye out. But in any case, wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one.